Oh my goodness. Okay, so I am waiting to do a video visit with Skye. And it's been a really long night. I've been awake since 8 o'clock yesterday morning. And this was just bad scheduling on my part. I had a really busy month. I do the two job tango, and Skye is like really understanding. When we got down to the last week of the month, she was like, "Are we gonna have our video visit?" She only has one a month, so it means a lot to her. And I was like, yes, and I just need to schedule it. So I scheduled it for 8 o'clock my time. So I got up at work at 6 a.m. this morning, and it is 8:05. At 10 minutes of, I hadn't received the link. So I immediately called the prison to be like, hey, are you running visits today? Because I didn't hear from Skye yesterday. So anytime I don't hear from her, I don't assume that she's dead. I just assume that they have locked down. I usually don't panic until about 72 hours. If I haven't heard from her in 72 hours, then I call the prison and ask if she's okay and do a wellness check. But anything before that, like for them to lock down for 2-3 days is not uncommon. So if I don't hear from them, I just carry on. But I didn't hear from her yesterday, and the visits were late. So I'm like, I wonder if they're locked down. I called and I'm like, y'all locked down? You running visits today? And the woman was like, we are. They're just running really late. If you don't get the link by like 8:15, you can call back. I'm... Jesus. That is my alarm telling me that if I'm not at my visit by now, then I should be. I had hit the snooze on it instead of turning it off. Just ADHD moment. So we were just waiting it out. The link comes to my phone, but my phone is, I'm cheap. I'm super cheap. I'm very frugal. I use like a pay-as-you-go phone plan, so I don't trust it. I put the link right into my computer, so I know I can trust the connection, and that I also can do some screenshots, because Skye went the majority of her adult life without a photo of herself, which people can take photos, but they have to pay for them. And so for her, when she gets money, like, it's more important for her to go get hygiene or snacks, a little cinnamon bun. I think they did away with the cinnamon buns, but yeah, photos were just not important. So when we started doing the computer visits, I started taking screenshots at the end of the visit. They allow 2 in this particular facility. And what I do is I take them, I email them to myself, I edit them on my phone, and then I will send her copies and text like her mom or whatever, whoever she wants it sent to. That way she has photos of herself, and I print them off on Shutterfly and Free Prints. Shutterfly and Free Prints have really great deals where their prints are free and you just pay shipping. So I can order a bunch of photos for like $3. And like with Joey, if he sends a photo, I always ask, do you need copies? So what I can do is bright sunlight so you don't get any shadows, like a very direct light on them. Take a photo of it, crop it, edit it, then you can send it to like Shutterfly or Free Prints, and then you can print off a whole bunch and mail them back. Typically you can't send an original prison photo back to the prison. You have to make a print of it to send it back to them, but I offered to do that for them because one photo is like $2 or $3, and I can get them for free and send them a whole bunch, and then they can send them to their family. And then I had one friend, Lisa, who I think we're going to meet up with later in the year when I go on vacation and go see her and do some visiting with Skye and Joey, because it's all in the middle of the country. Maine is hard to get out of, so when I get out of Maine, I got to make my rounds. She had this fun side hustle where the girls would have people print off memes, so you would just, it was fun to do. Like, I'd go through memes, I'd screenshot them, and what they would do is take the photos and send them home in lieu of a card. And they would like sell them for $1 or whatever on the prison economy. And that was really fun for her. And every time I mention it to the men, they're like, that had to have been happening at a women's prison. Like, the guys aren't doing that. And I'm like, why not? Like, why not? Like, it's so fun to get a card that's like a meme card. I used to love those. Like, I still have one from Lisa, and she's been out for a couple of years, and I still have one that said Happy Fur Mama's Day for Mother's Day. I don't have my own children. I have a bunch of fur babies, so my friends always wish me a happy Fur Mama's Day. I think my mama duck personality is what makes them think of me at Mother's Day. My dad says the same thing, that my pen pals are like my little ducklings, and that I want to take care of them and love them. And I'm like that with stray people, stray kids, stray animals. They just follow me home. So that's also a fun idea. If you know somebody that wants to do that, that was how I was doing it, was just through free prints. I'd screenshot the memes, send them in for a couple of bucks, and then Lisa would make like $20 off of a bunch of photos. So what you have to do is, with photos, they have a rule on how many that can be sent in at once. And so for her, I think the limit was 20, and so I said 20 at a time. I still haven't got the link. I'm just kind of waiting for it to ding. I hope our visit happens, because when you only get one a month and we only have like 2 days left in the month, this would suck. And our last one was canceled because the prison was locked down, so she hasn't had a visit in a couple of months. And I was also waiting to see if another one of her pen pals was going to get approved for visits, so we could switch off where she only has one a month. And how I coordinate that is I just get in touch with her other pen pals, and we'll run like a group chat and schedule out whose month is who. With Joey, I don't have to do that. He's allowed to have video visits whenever he wants, because it's not a free visit, it's a paid visit. It's through Securus. His prison recently swapped to Securus, and I have to say it's cheaper than JPay. I saved a few dollars, so that was nice to get a little break. I don't have a preferred app. I think they have like pros and cons to both, and I've used everything. So I've used Link, I've used Christy uses like Connect is another one, and then there's JPay, and then there's Securus. The mother company, though, is pretty much all the same. So if you were to invest in stock in the company, it's like the same company, and then they have like all of these smaller companies that negotiate with the prisons, and I think they must bid it out. Is how they have to bid it out. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense, because when a prison does a swap over, it's got to be because of the budget. But they're all owned by the same like big entity when it comes to the stock market. So to me, it's all the same company, but they're not. They're a little different when you get down to these little companies. But I like Securus the most, because you can do fun things like videograms, which is fun. They cost 4 stamps to send, but they can play them over and over and over again. And I just make funny, quirky ones to send to Raquel. She loves it, and she'll replay them. And then the other thing with Securus is I don't have to resize my photos. So Joey's still on JPay right now, and I have to resize every single photo. And because of that, and because life is busy, he gets less photos because of that. But I try to send him like the important stuff. Like, my dog got into a bee. I have a bloodhound. She's got a really floppy face. She ate a bee and swelled up till her face was round. That is not how a bloodhound's supposed to look. She couldn't even see. Her face was so swollen. We rushed her to the vet. First we gave her Benadryl. Then we rushed her to the vet. I called my job and was like, You wouldn't believe the emergency I'm having. I may be late for work. I'm not sure. I have a couple hours. I'm going to try to get this sorted out before I come. It was such a bizarre moment. I've never had a dog do this. So I took a photo, put it on the gram for all my friends to see, and then resized it and sent it to Joey because it was just a look that you have to see a dog after they ate a bee to believe it, because they are so poofy and scared the hell out of me when he called. I was like, you wouldn't believe what happened to me today. And they love it when you share that kind of stuff. Like, sometimes we think our lives are boring, but they've been hanging around a prison all day. Anything's exciting to them. If you went to work and just worked all day and got into a fight with your coworker, they want all the tea. They want to know. So I told them all about the dog, and then I'm like, I better send the photo because it, tells its own story. And I'll email it to Skye later. I need to buy stamps. I'm like 2 days before payday, and I budget all of this out. So if people are wondering how I afford to have 5 pen pals, I budget very strategically. So we just have to wait until the next pay cycle so I can re-up everything, and it is what it is. I don't budget their phone money. I give them an allotted amount. They're adults. They know what they need to do to survive, and I let them budget accordingly. I didn't know this when I was married. I was married to an inmate, and I gave him so much money, and he was way too comfortable and way too prison rich and very spoiled and got very entitled, and I was like, never again. So with Skye and Joey, they both have a life sentence, and having any money after years and years of never having any money is like a big deal to them. But I'm like, you need to budget it because I can't parent you guys. And so they do. And if they run out of money, well, it sucks to be you. And so, and especially when they've been there for a long time and that's their life, they learn to really hustle, and they can take that little bit of money and make candy, or Joey makes cheesecake, and they'll resell it and make more money, and they work through it. But I'm very strict about it now, just because I spent so much money with my marriage that now the budget's the budget, and I don't go over that. I do give them a little allowance. So Skye and Joey get allowance. Skye because she has no one, and she just needs like a snack and some lotion for like her sanity. And it's when you have nothing, having a little something just makes your day, right? So that cheers her up. That's the link. So I thought that was the link for the visit. It's not. It is one of my cleaning accounts. So I work a 40-hour, but I do professional cleaning on the side. So I'm super busy all the time. This is a family cleaning, so they were asking if I could bring my hair cutting stuff because I'm also a cosmetologist. I'm a Jill of like all trades. Master of none, but the girl with many is better than one. So my niece needs a trim. That is Skye. Let's see what's going on. Oh my god, I can tell I'm tired. I just hit the wrong button to accept it. Now I'm waiting for her to call back. Fucking shit show today. I'm assuming visits have been canceled. I'm pretty sure that's what she's calling about. I think I'm going to try to pick up the audio with the camera because the regular audio system is not set up yet. I'm an audio snob, so I have the sound equipment for the phone calls, but I think I'll just throw her on speaker for this video. But I gotta wait for her to call back. She's gonna realize. So how they know I'm just busy is the phone call will just go to voicemail, and if I'm available, I answer. if something wonky like that happens where it just disconnects for no reason, that's their cue that something's wrong and that they need to call back. So that's how I handle that. So like if it rings and rings and rings, I'm not in a place where I can answer, and that's like their cue to know to give me 30 minutes to an hour. My job, both of my jobs are pretty flexible, so I can usually take a call. Sometimes I'm swamped just because I'm really busy. But that is like how I let them know that I'm busy. So I either let it go to voicemail and I'll silence it, let it go to voicemail so they know to give me an hour or so. Or I answer right away. But if it disconnects, if I hit the wrong button, and on their end it will just kind of be like, what happened? If they have that moment, they will call back.
This is a free call from an inmate at All Red Unit. This call is being recorded and is subject to monitoring. To accept this free call, press 1. To repeat, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Hey, love.
Hey, babe.
Hey, I never got the link, and I called the prison. They said that you weren't locked down, that they were just running late. Do you know what's going on?
No, that's why I called. I've been sitting here waiting. I don't know what's going on.
I've been sitting here waiting too. Like, the woman that answered said that they were just running behind, that nobody had been brought down yet, and that she was unsure. And that, that the link should be sent within 15 or so minutes. It was 30 minutes ago.
That doesn't surprise me.
I'm assuming this isn't going to happen today. So,
yeah, there's nothing I can do from here. I'm in the cell. I can't, I'm just sitting here waiting, so I tried to call to see maybe if they canceled it or what happened, but,
they haven't officially canceled, but I'm assuming where it's 30 minutes in, the first round of visits are just not going to happen today. And where we were first on the chopping block, I think ours has been forewent. And I'm not sure what's going on there where they did that, but we're just going to have to reschedule. I think I'm going to go to bed, and I'll connect with you later tonight, and we'll just have to reschedule for April. And I think what I'll do is, as soon as Monday comes, I'll schedule for that first weekend. And that way, if they cancel again, I can reschedule it for later in the month.
all right.
Yeah, and that way we can definitely get one in April. And I'm sorry, I tried so hard. It wasn't me this time, it was the prison. Yeah, this sucks. Mwah, mwah, mwah. So, yeah. I can keep an ear open for the link if it comes in the next 30 minutes, but I'm assuming where there's only 30 minutes left that they're probably not going to be able to process you down, send the link, and do all the stuff. But if for some reason it miraculously comes through, I'm not going to fall asleep right away. I'll hear the text.
Yeah. I don't know how all it works, so
Yeah, usually they send me a text link 10 minutes before, and they're getting you down when they send me the link. But that didn't happen today, and where you're calling from your cell, I'm thinking it's not going to happen. And I mean, it's 8:30 here right now, so I feel like if I call back, they're going to be like, yeah, it's not happening. So.
all right.
All right, honey. Well, so my plan is I'm going to go to bed, sleep till about 4. I don't have to be back to work until I'm leaving at 7. I don't have to be there until 10. And I'll be up all night so we can chat and get caught up. I'm sorry. I was worried about you yesterday, and I called them because when I didn't hear from you, I was like, oh, maybe she's on lockdown. And they were like, no, we're not locked down. We're just running late. And I was like, okay. And she's like, oh, just give us like another 15 minutes. So I started making a video, and that was 30 minutes ago, and I still haven't got a link yet. So, but what we'll do is we'll connect later tonight and get catch up, and then Monday I'm getting up at noon, so the first thing I'll have to do before I go clean is call them and try to schedule for the weekend. If I don't get it done Monday, I'll have to do it Tuesday. And I'll try to grab an early slot on Saturday morning because I'm off. And then that way, if they cancel or it doesn't happen, I can ask them for another one later in the month.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, honey, I'm sorry. Wah, wah. We'll figure it out. I'm sorry, honey. And I love you, and I'll talk to you later today.
All right, get you some good sleep, and we'll talk later, okay?
Okay. All right, I'll talk to you later. Love you.
All right.
Mwah.
Bye. Love you too.
Bye.
The caller has...
Well, that sucks. But it is what it is. So now I'm going to go to bed, and Skye and I will connect later today. And I'll tell her about the dog, and then beginning of the week, when they switch over to April, I will try to get a scheduled visit right away. That way, if this happens again, I can reschedule. It's hard when it's just a one a month, but she does not have regular video visits because of her class, so I have to go through her unit to get them scheduled. I don't understand why. I just know that's how it is for her. I know the rest of her facility just does it through online, but she's a different circumstance, so we'll figure it out and we'll go from there.